All right, good people. This Tabitha Brown story is causing a lot of opinions to come out on TikTok. Tabitha Brown recently came out and said, listen, she will not be pulling any of her products from the Target stores because she has a contract with them. But she told people if you decide to not support certain stores who are rolling back their DEI efforts, you can go ahead and do that. But as for her and her company, she won't be, but she understands the movement. Now, I will say this Vibe magazine, I would say Vibe.com, they did come out with an article which I think was really good. They said Tabitha Brown's initial statement was silent but powerful. She captioned the response by affirming, I said what I said. Her second response was more direct and geared toward those who didn't pick up what she was putting down the first time. Okay. Now I'm gonna do the YouTube thing. I need you to subscribe and like so I know that you are into this content and that YouTube knows that you are into this content. We are gonna play Tabitha Brown right now.
There. Y'all all right? I know. It has been a tough week, right? And baby, it's been a tough 2025 and we are still in January. But I know many of you are asking and have asked and sent me messages about the recent DEI announcements at Target as well. And as disheartening as it is for me, I'm not the only one affected by this.
I want to pause for a second because we have to also recognize her empathy. She's a black woman. She's a black woman in business. So many people, not just black people, love her products, white people, Asian. I mean, she's definitely a crossover talent. So for her to come out here and say this and actually, it could jeopardize her product, I say kudos to her because that takes a lot of guts.
Right? It's for everyone who um, is a woman-owned business, minority-owned businesses, black-owned businesses. Um, it's for so many of us who work so very hard to be placed into retail, to finally be seen, to finally be seen.
And this is another thing. And now I'm going to go to some of the opinions that I saw on TikTok. But for especially Black entrepreneurs to get the opportunity to go into a Target, go into a Walmart, it gives them exposure, right? And one of the things that Tabitha said in her video is that, it's all about ownership. So if African Americans, if you want to pull all of your products, from the store, then you have to have another big chain to be available so people can sell their products. And right now, that is not available. So I definitely think as a business woman, that was a smart move, but she did address what was going on so her supporters weren't left in the dark. And this is what a TikTok follower had to say.
Context of the whole Target and DEI conversation, like people are kind of coming at small businesses specifically. I heard the context around Tabitha Brown and they're like, oh, why is she still asking us to support? One, I feel like she was very clear in saying that is your choice and what it is that you do. And then two, I felt like she did an excellent job of explaining what small businesses need during these times. As someone that has worked for a small black owned business and I had managed their Target account, which was a part of the DEI programming, I understand the complexities of it not just being cut and dry. One, most times when you see small businesses inside the store, that does not necessarily mean that they've been paid for those products that are in the store at that time. Most retailers are paying, businesses net 30, net 60, net 90. So that means after the products have been received in the store. And that's not including the cost that it takes to get the products to the store, the cost that it takes to run the EDI and programming to, route the stuff to the.
And I think this is important because before we say, oh, you know what, that black business owner, she decided to keep her stuff. Wait a minute. Number one, do you have a business? Number two, I have to ask you, are you a supporter of a lot of these, like a Tabitha Brown or any black person or black business woman who has their product in these stores? And again, as the journalist, I'm not leaning left or right. You can put your comments and your opinions below. But I think it's important to give both perspectives and also that it is a process.
Want to rant and rave about and protest about. I mean, it's just, it's bad. They even got Reverend Al Sharpton out here marching with all the senior citizens he can find for the greater good. I understand the DEI situation is very bad. And then y'all getting on Tabitha's case. I understand Tabitha's point of view. I understand y'all's point of view too. But let's call a spade, man. We walk past racist motherfuckers every day, all
Didn't mean to have that cursing, but there you go.
day. And far as our own community, we shit on each other all day. It's a video I put up about dealing with your own kind and the crabs in the barrel.
And I will say this, as African Americans, if we are going to do business, we have to do it right. We need to do it with excellence. And that is one of the things, especially when we're doing business with each other, there has to be a level of, I'm going to give you a 10 out of 10. Okay. And I'll talk about that later.
That you have that you simply just don't receive by being rich and wealthy. I'm one of those black people that have an issue when successful black owned companies sell off a portion of their company, sell their company entirely, or do distribution deals. And it's not because the recipe may change, the ingredients may change. I don't like that either. But it is because in times like this specifically, the power, the authority, the control is in ownership. When it comes down to it, there is no Target, Walmart, or Amazon equivalency for black people.
And that is something I just said. People are, she's getting a lot of backlash, which I understand both sides. But then I have to ask a lot of those people who are giving their opinions, do you know somebody where she can put her product in that store? And so Power 105.1 on iHeartRadio, they just talked about, actress and mogul Tabitha Brown is facing backlash after asking consumers basically not to boycott Target amid the company's recent DEI rollback. So the move sparked a boycott against the major retailer. And this says starting February 1st, We Are Somebody is calling a mass boycott of all Target stores. Of course, this is what this article is saying. The organization wrote in an Instagram post, Target announced they are rolling back all DEI initiatives since 2020. Target's DEI programs have been an example of how corporations can do something positive. The announcement that they will be ending the programs is infuriating. So, you have a lot of mixed opinions. It is definitely understandable. But I will ask you in the comments, what do you think? Do you think Tabitha is right? Or Tabitha is wrong? And what do you think about all of the black retailers? Again, make sure you subscribe, like, and I will talk to you soon. Have a good one.